I'm Fox, any pronouns. I wanted a chill reading day, so I'm giving myself a chill reading day. I'm bringing you along. As you might know by now, I love horror, and I love queer horror especially. I have a few queer horror books I need to check out, but don't know where to start first. So I'm doing something I saw a booktuber, Gavin Reads It All, do. I'm going to read the first chapter of each book, give my thoughts, and rank them to see which I'll read first. We have Flawless Girls by Anna Marie McLemore, Contract Bound by Elle May, The Restless Dark by Erica Waters, 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot, Monsters Within Men by TJ Rose, and Heart Still Beating by Brooke Archer. Some of these might be more paranormal with a few hints of horror, but I'm excited to read them all regardless. So let's pick one and get started. I chose Heart Still Beating first. Since it was a short prologue, I read that and Chapter 1. Gotta say, I'm hooked so far. This is young adult and about a girl who had been turned into a zombie, but now has been rehabilitated, basically. She is very rough, not doing great mentally, which is understandable. I love the writing style. We get some really poetic prose that hammers in Mara, the zombie girl's, mental state. We prefer to keep our skeletons in the closet, where they can't rise and rip our throats out. So good. And the small bits of world building we get are intriguing. I'm definitely eager to read more. For now, on to the next. I decided to crack open The Restless Dark second. There's some sort of true crime get-together happening for 6 days out in the wilderness, near a canyon where serial killer Joseph Kincaid jumped to escape capture. He's presumed dead, though his body never was recovered. This has haunted our protagonist Lucy, who's there only to find his bones and lay to rest what happened when she was his last victim. This is also YA. It's got a ghostly, eerie vibe so far I'm into. There might be hints of something supernatural happening, or it could be PTSD from a traumatic event. Either way, I do want to read more. I'd say I'm so far more interested in Heart Still Beating, though, but right now, this is comfortably in second place. I read 16 Souls next. We've already got a modern gothic young adult vibe right off the bat that I love. We follow Charlie, who can see the dead, which sucks. Though he does have a couple ghosts at least to look out for him. Mostly he doesn't like to interact with them, however, and we get hints of something terrible happening in his past with the dead. Right now there's a ghost who's following him, who obviously wants something from him, and he doesn't want to find out what. We've got some disability rep as Charlie has prosthetic legs, which is neat. Once again, we've got interesting world building that teases the reader, with just enough information in the beginning to make you want more. I like how we're thrust immediately into the action. I'd say this is solidly in second place now, moving The Restless Dark down. But let's see what the fourth book has to offer. Talk about starting in the action. I checked out Monsters Within Men next, and it thrusts us right into a mission that's quickly failing. And then we see it go even worse. And this is a future by a few decades, after flesh-craving monsters have taken over. A good old zombie virus situation. We're following Noah, the lieutenant to a team just trying to get supplies. In the middle of the already botched mission, he actually catches a glimpse of his boyfriend. Or the decaying body of it before his squad members have to shoot it down. This one's pretty gory right off the bat. I appreciate that. It's a little confusing and lacks on details, like what the monsters look like, though, and I only knew it was zombies from a few context clues and having read the back of the book. There is potential here, though, but I am going to place it at the bottom of the pile so far. It's not that I don't want to continue, but everything else as of yet has just caught my attention more. Fifth up is Contract Bound. It also started with a prologue, but I figured it was long enough to count as a first chapter. It opens on Sylvia, watching her family's butchered remains being hauled out of her childhood home. They were brutally murdered by vampires, the creatures that they hunted in life. Something about the first line is so hilarious. God really fucked up when he created vampires. And then we're in the horror of her massacred family. She hadn't seen them in a while, having left the life and refused to join the Order, the elite society of vampire hunters. Now, though, she wants in for revenge. Pretty sure this is going to be an enemies to lovers scenario, which I'm always down for. Also seems like it's supposed to be pretty sexy too, or spicy, whatever we're calling it. I'm just going to call the twist now. There's something weird about the killings, and I think it might have been done by the Order, or someone from it, and not vampires. But I'll see. One day. Probably not soon. I didn't hate what I read, but it didn't really grip me. Maybe I should have read chapter 1 as well, but after the prologue, I just kind of didn't feel like it. Right now, Contract Bound is at the bottom of the pile. Finally, we have Flawless Girls. I might be biased because I love Anna Marie McLemore, but this is so intriguing right off the bat. I read 2 chapters because the first one was just a couple pages long, so it only made sense. I'm glad I did. This is a really good book so far. We get weird boarding school mystery, dark academia vibes, possibly some spooky supernatural stuff going on. Mind control? Who knows? This one is going to the top of the pile. The atmosphere is so gothic and good. The writing is fantastic. There's an otherworldly, ghostly feel to it, and the author does so well. I know I'm going to get sucked into this world when I read it in full. Honestly, I might read this one pretty soon once I finish my current read. Well, this was a fun exercise. I think it really helps if you're in a reading slump too, or if you're paralyzed by choice. It's also good if you keep getting injured and need to take time off from more demanding videos. We should be amazed I'm even getting this out this month. That's it for now. Let me know if you try this, even if it's not with just horror books. Maybe try it with manga, or a genre you want to get into but don't know where to start. Lots of possibilities. Thanks for joining my lucid screaming.